happy Valentine's Day. Well, it was Valentine's Day for me. So I made like I made like an error in communication when I was ordering stuff for Valentine's Day. And when I read back through my text, I was like, oh, I was dumb. So, a lot of our Valentine's Day stuff was finished and ready like a month ahead because I didn't clarify when I needed things. And we ended up celebrating Valentine's Day like way early by accident, but it was amazing and wonderful. Anyway, I had another video all planned out. I filmed it. I was in the middle of editing and I was just like, this topic deserves like a better video. So I'm going to like put a pin in that topic, and instead I'm going to do this video now, which is talking to you guys about our infertility story, why we picked embryo adoption and how that happened. We are going to start from the very beginning. Our infertility journey story starts back when Paul and I first got married. I didn't envision us having children until like 5 years later. We are technically at the 5-year mark now, which is great. But I hadn't like thought that I wanted us to savor like the first year of being married. I didn't want us to have any additional stressors, worries, complication in that first year. But we were thinking about it, and Paul and I were both older. We talked about it, and Paul had envisioned having children sooner. He wanted to have children before he hit 30, and we got married when he was 29. I wanted to have children around the same time my mom had children, which was 30, so I was like, okay, this is fine. This just speeds me up by a little bit. We'll still enjoy our first year without kids, but maybe at the end of that year, then we'll have our first kid. So we were like, okay, let's just start trying. It was very haphazard in how we went about it. It was about 2 years of being very, very active in trying when we were like, okay, maybe there's something wrong. We went to a doctor, and the doctor said, okay, well, you're both overweight, and it can take double the amount of time for like a regular couple. So just keep trying, just totally relax about it. It'll happen when it happens. So we kept trying. And then about 3 to 4-ish years passed, and I went to see my doctor, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I feel like maybe I need to be tested. At that point, I had started tracking my fertility, and I noticed that my body was not changing temperatures like it should during one of the phases that I tracked. And I talked to my doctor, and she was like, okay, well, it could be that you're not ovulating. To be fair, I had only tracked like my temperature during that one cycle, so it could have just been a fluke. At the same time, it was very disheartening and a little alarming, where it's like, why am I not ovulating? So she recommended that I go to a fertility specialist. And at the time, I didn't have a gynecologist down here. I do now, because I had to set one up for embryo adoption. So I do have a gynecologist now. But at the time, I didn't have one. So I go to see this gynecologist. Let's set up these appointments. During your cycle, we will do blood work during those appointments. We will also do an ultrasound. We will put, basically we'll shoot chemicals up inside of you. We'll see how things are interacting and where they're going, if there's blockages, things like that. We're just going to see what happens. Well, I get home, I'm talking to my husband, and we're both like, okay, well, maybe we need to put this on hold for a little bit. Let's just chill for a little bit, and then you can call them and reschedule these appointments. It's like, okay. That's when I got the bill. We had and do have terrible insurance. It was $400 out of pocket for the preliminary appointment. And it's like, okay, we cannot afford more testing to see what's wrong. I had been examined by my primary doctor. Everything is fine for embryo adoption. I'm just clarifying that. So even if I'm not ovulating, it doesn't mean that my waiting womb isn't comfortable for whatever children we have. So all that just to say, I just want to put that as an aside. Like, everything's fine down there for embryo adoption. Everything's great. If I'm not ovulating, it could be a number of things. It could be undiagnosed PCOS. It could be stress. It could be any number of things, honestly. My husband and I were like, okay, we just need to put this on pause. Let's focus on us, and we'll focus on our other options. We decided to start investigating our options when it comes to adoption. And that played into some of the family drama that I was dealing with. Like, let's be real, it was so much fun. We went ahead and we were like looking through stuff, and a few years prior we had heard about embryo adoption, but we didn't really know what that was. And the organization that we were looking into when it came to foreign adoption, domestic adoption, etc., had Snowflake on there. And we were like, well, what's Snowflake? It's embryo adoption. Out of all of our adoption options, embryo adoption was the only one where I could experience being pregnant, which was super cool. I bet each one of you, my darling, darling followers and viewers, can rattle off names off the top of your head of friends and family that you know that did foster care and did traditional adoption or did domestic/international adoption. I bet you could just rattle off names of people that you know that have done that. We didn't know anybody. And we were shocked when we met, like, one of our friends is friends with somebody that's currently just given birth to their embryos that they adopted. So it's kind of rare to meet somebody that knew other people that had done it. At any rate, we discovered embryo adoption and we looked at all the pros and cons and weighed everything, and we were like, this is the adoption for us. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to take you guys step by step through the process because it's so unique and so different, and I didn't realize how interesting the whole thing was going to be. But I am very, very grateful for the team at Nightlight/Snowflake Embryo Adoption, and I want you guys to check them out. They have tons of resources on YouTube. They have tons of resources on the web. They have seminars and things for free that you can watch on their YouTube channel, and it is fancy. But this is a form of adoption that has over 1 million embryos in the US alone that are waiting to be adopted. No joke. This is the time. If you want to adopt an embryo, this is the time to do it. In the time that we spent waiting to have kids, there were so many hard times of thinking that we were pregnant and not being pregnant. Like, for example, this last Christmas was a great one, and I thought for sure I was pregnant, and I was like, no, Chelsea, you're not allowed to think that. You're not allowed to think that, because you're going to end up a weeping, crying mess at church. And I was a weeping, crying mess at church when my period came during church service, which was like so much fun. There were also other times where I thought for sure I was pregnant, and I had jury duty. So I went to jury duty for sure that I was pregnant. For sure I was pregnant because I was 10 days late, and I was like, oh, I'm for sure pregnant. I wasn't. I think one of the worst times, I was 20 days late, and I'm pretty regular. Let me just say that I'm pretty regular. So when I'm late, it has to be something dramatic. I was just so stressed. I was so stressed. And I was 20 days late, and I thought for sure I was pregnant, and I wasn't. There have been a lot of times like that. And I need to give myself grace. When my grandmother died, I ended up skipping my period for about 5 months-ish. like when she died. So when I get overstressed, my body just shuts down that part. They're like, nope, don't even worry about it. You're not going to have a period. And it's funny because it feels like even the hope and the anticipation makes my body just like, nope, I'm going to pause you for a while. You're too amped up and you're too excited. You don't get to be pregnant. And sometimes it doesn't feel fair. No matter how painful things can be, God is with you, and God provides for you a wonderful support system. That's amazing. And I think I had a friend that posted, actually recently, about how sometimes we need to mourn how we thought life was going to be. But eventually we need to just buck up and move forward. You know, we can't stay there forever. But the thing is that dream is still accomplished through embryo adoption. That dream would still be accomplished through foreign or domestic adoption or through foster care. The drive for being a parent, for people that will love and cherish those kids are your kids. Okay? A parent is whoever's raising another person. That makes you a parent, period. It doesn't matter if they are genetically related to you or not. It doesn't matter if they even spent their formative years in your house. It doesn't matter if they're biologically your kid or if they're biologically, genetically related to someone else or even a relative. Your child is the one that you're raising. Your parent is whoever is raising you. And those kids are going to be mine. They might not look like me or my husband, but so what? They're going to act like me. Same difference. Oh yeah, when I have a little bad attitude version of myself at that age talking back to me, that's my kid. Like, let's be real. It is so good to know that it is officially a done deal. We are officially going to be the parents of beautiful, beautiful embryos. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to bring you guys with me through this journey of becoming a parent. And it's amazing. So amazing. So amazing. Thank you guys so much for being with me on this lovely day. And I wish you guys a happy early Valentine's Day because the blonde roots go deep, okay? They're deep in there. The thing was that we still had a great Valentine's Day, and my husband, he got me like these beautiful little honeybee earrings and an Avatar Lost Airbender pin because of course he did. He was like, okay, well, let me just, do my thing that I need to do. And he did. And he's like, okay, my surprises are ready. We can have early Valentine's Day. I'm like, okay. I just know I have a great husband that can roll with the punches. It's probably my undiagnosed ADHD. It's the ADHDs, baby. Got to roll with the punches, okay? Just because it's not your Valentine's Day that you imagined in a month, it doesn't mean that we can't celebrate. Let's do it. So good. Okay. I love you guys so much. 'Tis I, the Frenchiest French fry, wishing all y'alls a great day. Love you. Okay. Mwah. Bye. My hair is a little... I look like alfalfa. I don't know how to fix it, so I'm just gonna leave it. Sorry. I heard my vacuum shut off and now it's back on and I'm like,